Hello, Victory Village. Welcome to another episode of Twanna Y'vette TV. I am your host, Twanna Y'vette, and for the next hour or so, we are going to be talking about R. Kelly and his guilty status. We're also going to follow up on a little bit of um, our girl, Kelly Price. But in the meantime, we're going to kick it off with R. Kelly because, as y'all know, the verdict came out today. The trial is over, and R. Kelly is, in fact, guilty. So they will be reading his sentencing very soon. Can't wait for that. Okay. Cannot wait for that. Um, and it's really been crazy as this trial has been going on. Hey, sugar. This trial has been going on, and R. Kelly really went nuts in the courtroom after they read the verdict. Now, in my understanding, there's no way on God's green earth this man thought that he was going to get off scot free. There's no way. I'm sitting here like, why are you going crazy in the courtroom? You knew that you weren't going to get off. I don't care about your team of lawyers. We don't care about, what you thought. Don't care about you trying to place the blame on somebody else. You knew that you were going down. Period. So it behooves me to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that the famous or infamous R. Kelly lost his mind. He hated the ruling, and it was just a hot mess. And I just can't believe, I can't even believe, I can't, I can't believe that he really thought this was his thinking, his process of thinking. We're gonna have the trial, and then everything's gonna be okay, and I'm gonna get to go home and do whatever you do at the house. No, that's not it. That is not it, Mr. Kelly. I'm sorry, you're guilty, and you're going down. I took the liberty of looking up some of R. Kelly's history, his history of allegations, and it is really a lot. I also pulled up this article on the Insider that you may not be aware of, and I will put that link in the description box so you guys can check it out at your leisure. But this is about the testimony of the girl that was underage. And here she is right here. Geronda Pace, known as Geronda Johnson, attended every day of Kelly's trial. This lady right here was underage in this photo when she met R. Kelly. This was a trial from a long time ago. And she came forth and she gave her testimony and said they in fact had relations and she was underage. So her testimony was very much welcomed by the public because a lot of other people they weren't going to be able to get um, on trial. There were some people who were like, "No, we're not doing that," and then there were some who were like, "I'd be more than happy to." So, with that being said, it was just it was vitally important that she came forth. Hey, Jade. Jade said, "Are we allowed to have different opinions? I'm just checking because I don't need anyone making me feel like crap. I have one." Of course, this is the no judgment zone. Welcome to the village. Of course. Over here, we agree to disagree. We don't jump on anybody's, bone. Just, everybody has a chance to speak. Everybody has an opinion. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay. It's totally fine. Um, Let me get back to this real quick. So yeah, this is just Insider just had a rundown. Um, Kelly started a domineering sexual relationship with the teenage fan he met at his trial, she said later. So this is what that is, and I'm gonna put that in the description box for you guys at a later time. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and go back to BBC. We're gonna run down some of these because a lot of people are asking questions in other live streams today, and it kind of confused me a little bit because I was like, don't we know what we're talking about? Don't we know what we're talking about here? We're talking about R. Kelly, and where have you been? Have you been under a rock? Because, this is what's on the table right now. This is the history of allegations against him. We're going to start from the very top, do a rundown, just so everybody gets caught up. So in 1994, he marries Aaliyah. The star then was 27. He marries a 15-year-old singer, Aaliyah, at a secret ceremony in Chicago. So Vibe magazine later discovered that Aaliyah had lied on the wedding certificate about her age, listing herself as 18. So the marriage was annulled in February of 1995. So for the rest of her career, Aaliyah dodged questions about the nature of her relationship. When people asked, I just tell them, hey, I don't believe in all that mess. Just you know how you do when you want to avoid something. And she says that we're close and people took it the wrong way. So I'm sure that's what she was coached to say, but public record doesn't lie. The marriage did happen. She did lie on the certificate, and so the marriage was annulled in February of 1995. That clarified a lot for me because I was like, what is this? Like, how in the world does a 15-year-old girl marry a grown man? And ain't nobody well, I mean, the parents, did they know? Like, it was just weird. Jade says, good. I think the government could have made a stronger case if they actually called Barry Hankerson, Diane, and Rashid Houston as witnesses. Aaliyah is beyond credible proof. You can't deny that marriage certificate regardless of what we think. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It was absolutely absurd for anybody to believe that, this wouldn't happen or it can't happen just because it was Aaliyah. Like it happened. It happened. And, we all saw it unfold. In 2016 interview with GQ magazine, he described their relationship as best friends, but declined to comment on their marriage, saying that I will never have that conversation with anyone out of respect for Aaliyah and her mother and father who have asked me not to personally talk about it. So, yeah, we all know what happened, but, nobody was really talking about this. So, but I'm still like, what the heck was that? The girl is 15. You know, I mean, I'm just flabbergasted, like, because I didn't know the whole story until the trial came out. I really wasn't interested in anything Kelly, but that's crazy that she was 15 years old and he married this girl in a secret ceremony. Where was everybody? Where was the village to protect this girl? This was not a good idea, okay? In 1996, he was sued for emotional distress. Tiffany Hawkins sued R. Kelly for the personal injuries and emotional distress she suffered during a 3-year relationship with the star. The court documents, she said she began having sex with Kelly in 1991. Then she was 15. 15. And she was 24. She was 15. He was 24. She was 15. What is going on? Come on. He was 24 years old, and the relationship ended 3 years later 15, 16, 17, 18. So the moment that she becomes legal, y'all are done. When she turned 18, according to the Chicago Times, Hawkins sought $10 million in damages, but accepted a fraction of that amount, which was $250,000 when the case was settled in 1998. Kelly's spokesperson said that she had no knowledge of the accusations. Right, right. Moving on down the line, 2001, sued by an intern. I must have missed this one. But Tracy Sampson sues R. Kelly, accusing him of inducing her into an indecent blank relationship when she was only 17. So the woman, a former intern of Epic Records, claimed that she was treated as his personal blank object and cast aside. Okay? He often tried to control every aspect of my life, including who I could see and where I would go, she said in her legal case against him. The case was settled out of court for an undisclosed sum, and this was by the New York Post. I mean, are we getting a clear indication of what this man could do? Money talks. Hey, Lily, money talks. It really does. Money talks. It's ridiculous. Just because he was famous, just because he was the famous R. Kelly. I do believe that the judge called one too many sidebars, and R. Kelly has cause to appeal. R. Kelly really thought that he was running the show. That's just my opinion. He thought he was running the show, and yeah, no. Sorry, R. Kelly. So sorry. April and May of 2002, two more court cases arise. Let's see if you guys remember this. Kelly is sued for a third time by Patrice Jones, a Chicago woman who claims he impregnated her when she was underage and that she was forced to have an abortion. So a woman named Montina Woods also sued Kelly, alleging that he videotaped them having sex without her knowledge. The recording was allegedly circulated on R. Kelly's blank tape, sold by bootleggers under the title R. Kelly Triple X. The star settled both cases out of court, once again, settling out of court, paying another undisclosed amount to return for a non disclosure agreement. So basically, R. Kelly has been all of his life paying his way out of these situations. Like, let's not go to court, okay? Let's not go to court. Let's actually, let's see what I've got in my bank account. See, this time R. Kelly is broke, so there's no way that he can pay his way out of this. But this is proof of what he's been doing his entire career, literally paying his way out of, trouble. So in June 2002, charged over child pornography, the star is charged again with 21 counts of making child porn involving intercourse or blank urination and other sexual acts. Chicago police accused him of videotaping each of the acts and enticing a minor to participate in them. All of the charges related to one girl born in September 1984. His arrest stemmed from a video which was sent anonymously to a Chicago Sun-Times earlier in the year. They passed it on to the police, who verified authenticity of the tape with help from the FBI forensic experts. Okay, so Kelly, who posted $750,000 bail at that time, immediately denied the charges in an interview with MTV and later pleaded not guilty. So it took years for the case to come to trial, right? During which time Kelly released his widely successful Trapped in the Closet album. So Trapped in the Closet was going on during this 6-year case, ladies and gentlemen. Now, who was he talking about in Trapped in the Closet? Okay? And on top of that, he was nominated for an Image Award by the NAACP, prompting widespread criticism. Okay? The jury eventually concluded that they could not prove that the girl on the tape was a minor, and Kelly was found not guilty on all counts. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. What they're saying is they didn't have enough proof, on her side. It was just a videotape, and how old she was in that videotape. Now that goes to show you, because a lot of people nowadays, they love to pull out the phone and record things, but I guess some of these things, it's just like we don't have enough evidence. So, because I was looking forward to him going down for that, but unfortunately, he got away with it, and that should have been his lesson. You got away with it, R. Kelly. This should have listen, Lindas. That should have been the end all be all. Get saved or something, but don't continue to do this. But once again, he was R. Kelly. Okay, he was not Robert. He was R. Kelly. R. Kelly is a totally different personality from Robert, from my understanding, according to Drea, his ex-wife. And so Aaliyah, Jada says Aaliyah was the one that really did R. Kelly in, but you can't deny that surviving also played a major role in the case, that the case even existed. Hey, sis. Y'all say hi to my sister Carol. She's here to support. Jade, R. Kelly has issues. Okay. I will never deny that, but I do take major issues with how this case was handled. I just feel like they were frantic because, and now this is just my opinion. You guys can chime in, let me know what you think. But it's my opinion that because of the cases in the past, they were really frantic. We weren't able to get him for Aaliyah. We weren't able to get him for Miss Johnson. We weren't able to get him for the 2002 and 2004 arrests. So we've got him now. Now we've got him. Now we can't slip up. They had to move quickly, and that's what I saw during the trial. I didn't see mishandling of information, but I did see them in a hurt. Like we have to do this in a fast paced motion because if he gets away this time, he's even a bigger monster. So, you know what I'm saying? If that makes sense, like he really needed to, you know, pay for and even if he didn't do all of these things, I highly doubt that his staff members and all of these other people would come forth. They don't live together. They live in totally different cities and states, and they come across with almost the same testimony word for word. It just is hard for me to believe, but I totally understand what you're saying. I just feel like they were in a rush with this and the way they handled it because he never paid for anything. He never got caught. He was always able to pay his way out. So in 2002 and 2004, the arrest prompts future charges. So this time Kelly is charged with a further 12 counts of making child porn in Florida, where he was arrested at his holiday home. So he had a holiday home in Florida doing dirt there too. He was arrested. These charges came after police seized a camera during the arrest, which allegedly contained images of the star having you know what with an underage girl again. The charges were dropped when a judge agreed with Kelly's defense team that police lacked sufficient evidence to justify a search. Here again, he's getting away with it, scot free. Every time they think we've got him now, we've got him now. He's out. He's gone. Either they don't have enough evidence, they didn't amandarize him or whatever you call it. He was able to pay his way out of the first, two or three, and it looks like I'm just going to keep producing great music. I'm just going to do that, and people will forget all about this stuff. But in July 2017, allegations of a cult, and this is where it gets deep, okay? A long and detailed BuzzFeed report accuses R. Kelly of trapping women in a you know what cult. The article that was written alleges that R. Kelly, subdued young women when they approached him for help with their music careers. So before taking control of their lives and dictating what they eat, how they dress, when they bathe, when they sleep, and how they engage in blank encounters, that's what he recalls. These are the encounters that were also recorded. So the star also um wow, he confiscated their phones. Wow. The report says bearing contact with friends and family. So in the report, he's done all this stuff, including take away their right to, talk on the phone. You can't eat when you want to. You can't sleep when you want to. You know what I'm saying? You can't really do anything that you want to do because I'm in charge. Who does that? Who does that? Like, seriously. There was misreporting, though. I mean, I don't know. Hey, Ree. And I'm not saying that that's not true, Jade. I'm just saying, all of this stuff can't be, false. Some of this stuff has to be true. And thank God that I mean, he's looking at a life sentence, ladies and gentlemen. He's looking at a life sentence. Carol said his late fingers aren't cooperating. Girl, Carol, you don't even understand. We were up till almost 3 o'clock in the morning last night. It got deep. It was heavy up in here. Okay. Jason, I really hope R. Kelly uses his time in jail to learn how to actually read and write. Okay, now you brought up something real good right there, Jay, because I did not know until this year, until this trial, that he was illiterate. You illiterate? Who is writing for this man? He's got all these songs and all of these, partnerships and, production, things that, I mean, he's a mastermind when it comes to music. He's written for everybody, including Kelly Price and Whitney Houston and all this stuff. And you mean to tell me that you can't even read? How does that even happen? Reese said I couldn't finish watching the documentary. I made it through the first time and it came on again and I just couldn't. I don't know. Some of the stories were so gruesome to me. It just like, I wasn't able to like sit through it with a dry eye. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, and I wanted so bad to commentate about it and I just couldn't. Like I just felt so bad. For these people. I was just like, this is ridiculous. And these people couldn't be lying. I mean, for what? I mean, who would go on national television and embarrass themselves like this? Like I let R. Kelly, trap me. Are you kidding me? No. And you're right, Daria. How you doing, babe? Welcome to the village, honey. He'll have plenty of time because these people are looking for life. Life. I did. That's how I had to do it. I had to watch it in parts. You couldn't really just sit through it. You know what I'm saying? You can't just sit through the whole thing. If you have a heart, it would have been hard for you to sit through it. Jade says, Nort count that the third one he needs to learn how to do. I mean, girl. And I mean, this man is it? Does he think it's okay to be illiterate at his age? Come on. All right, let's get back into this cult thing real quick. So Kelly strenuously denies the story, which was written by Jim D. Um, DeRogatis. I hope I'm not butchering his name, who has dodgingly covered up the allegations against the singer for 2 decades. So all of the women cited in that article were of legal age. One later denies claim that she was being held against her will. So we saw that part in the documentary. The girl said that she wasn't being held against her will, that, she was R. Kelly's woman. So she thought. But then again, he had a lot of women. So, and each one of them seemingly had a role. One played the role of a little boy where he had the girl shave all of her hair off and put on baggy clothes and stuff like, she was a little boy. Some of them were dominatrix. Some of them, were little schoolgirls, just whatever was going on in his mind. And of course, Andrea, his wife, kind of knew something was going on, but she was verboten to go in certain parts of the house. So, which leads me to know that this is some kind of mansion that R. Kelly he's trying to turn it into a brothel or something because, you know, Drea was like, if I go where he doesn't want me to go, then he'll get me. And she has testified before that she was abused in that relationship. So yeah. Jade said, am I a bad person for feeling bad for R. Kelly? No. I must be a sucker or something because I actually feel terrible for the guy. No, 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 no. Let me tell you what I feel. And that's valid, Jade. What I feel is that I feel sorry for him only because he's fighting demons that he doesn't know how to get rid of. When you go through mental anguish, because I've seen it. I'm a church girl. So we've seen, people try to shake their, demons and can't sleep at night, and they just, really need help. I think that R. Kelly should have gotten a psychiatrist, a therapist, or something, because it's quite obvious that he wasn't too concerned about his mental status, even though. he would confide in a couple of his employees because he found them to be friends, right? And in the documentary, we saw him say as well that, I can't help myself. I can't control it. I don't know what to do. And then in the same breath, you know, go get me some girls. Go out and find, I've got to have a new girl. It was like a drug. Like these are not people. They're not people to him. But his ex wife did say, and I quote, there's a difference between R. Kelly and Robert. So, but Daria, I agree. It is a sad situation. Um, I mean, he lost his mind first. And to go off in court after they read the verdict, like, did you really think you were about to go home? Like, seriously. He went bananas in the courtroom. They had to clear out the courtroom. I know he didn't think he was going home. There's what? Wait until sentencing. He thought he went crazy today. Wait until sentencing because I know he knows that they're out for blood. He's going to spend life in prison, no doubt. For all the counts that he was found guilty of, he'll never he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail. This is going to be the downfall of R. Kelly. R. Kelly once was one of the biggest superstars on the planet. Spends the rest of his life in prison behind bars. And I hate that. I don't know. One side of my head, you guys, I think that he could be rehabilitated while he's in prison, even though he's never going to get out. Just to have a to think like a sane man. But then we all know what happens in prison, right? But then at the same time, it's sad that he has to go through all of this to see that he was really wrong, or if he even sees it, because you don't know what's in his mind. For him to confide into one of his employees that, hey, I can't help myself, I'm set, and he's setting up the camera, and the man is helping him set up the camera, and he's like crying and setting up the camera, going, I can't help myself. That's crazy. No sane person does that. That's crazy. That is crazy. No sane person does that. So listen, the one girl that thought she was his girlfriend says that I'm not being brainwashed at all. It's nothing like that. She's 21-year-old. Her name is Jocelyn Savage, and she was in one of the video calls to TMZ. However, she would not reveal where she was speaking from, nor the nature of her relationship with Kelly. We didn't find that out until the documentary. So our Kelly's lawyer at the time, which was Linda Mintz, also issued a strongly worded denial saying the star was alarmed and disturbed at the recent revelations. That's one way of putting it, and would work diligently to forcibly to pursue his accusers and clear his name. Well, while that was going on in 2017 to 2018, victims approached the press. So his efforts in clearing his name uh, didn't work. So enters Geronda Pace, the lady that we all saw in the trial. She breaks a non disclosure agreement to speak about having blank with Kelly while she was underage. And another woman, Kitty Jones, which we remember from the documentary, claims that the star starved her, okay, and coerced her into, you know what, encounters with another woman and physically abused her. Now, remember, you guys, Drea already said that she was abused to the point where she got tired of being hit. And she knew stuff was going on in the house. She just didn't know what it was. And remember in the documentary now, Drea said that she saw one of those women. She saw one of the women in the house. She was not allowed to talk to the woman, but she saw. So she knew at that instance. She knew it, but there was nothing she could do about it. She's on one side of the mansion, playing the doting wife. She's got children, and he's Robert over there. And on the other side, in the West Wing, he's got all this other stuff going on. And the only reason that Drea would even see this other woman, I don't know, I guess she was looking for her husband or whatever. They saw each other and locked eyes and didn't say a word. Drea turned around and went back to her side of the house, period. Like, that was it. And could you imagine living like that? Can you imagine living in your superstar husband's mansion, which is supposed to be our home? Okay. But I can't go in certain parts of the house? That's crazy. That is nuts. I agree with y'all. Listen. Uh-uh. Daria says he'll never get the help that he really needs in prison. I mean, you hope for it, but I know they're not going to provide psychiatric care for him because he's not going anywhere. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Christina, welcome to the village. I take issue with Demetrius Dre and others for how they were choosing to move. I just feel sorry for Drea because I didn't know she was going through all of that stuff until her reality show and the stuff that she was going through, and then hearing his kids talk about their father from their own admission, not something that Drea said, hey, you need to say this about your father. No, it was like their own, testimony. It was like it was heartbreaking. I was just like, these kids deserve better, because we were all heathens back then. I admit it. We were dropping it. You know what I'm saying? Like R. Kelly would look, R. Kelly came on the radio. Shoo, you was gonna move, you was gonna sing, something was gonna happen. Because R. Kelly could bring some hits. I was gonna say he can write some hits, but he can't write, so that ain't it. But somebody was dictating for him, and he was cranking these songs out, and we was all jamming because he had listen. I was still singing. I believe he can fly at karaoke. Okay, um, listen, Linda's, listen. it was it was deep. What is my mom doing? Okay, my mom is texting me. I'm sorry. But anyway, why is she up at 9:30 at night? But anyway, let's move back to the cows because we're running down. We're running things down. So in 2018, hashtag mute R. Kelly. The staff departures a new court case. Mute R. Kelly. Now, this hashtag, I'm going to admit, I did not know Mute R. Kelly. I don't think so. Do you guys remember that? Hashtag Mute R. Kelly. Okay, so the Mute R. Kelly campaign lobbies record label RCA to sever ties with the singer. Excuse me. They also target concert promoters, ticket sellers, and streaming services, with Spotify, Apple Music, and Pandora all agreeing to demote Kelly's songs from their playlist. Is a decision that is later reversed. Okay, so around that same time, the star's lawyer and publicist and personal assistant all quit at the same time. Although attorney Linda said that her departure was unrelated to any allegations related to Mr. Kelly's social life, she still broke camp. Okay. Kelly continued to perform live despite protests outside of his shows. Now, that I think I do remember. And he was filmed saying the campaign against him was too late. But even though radio stations weren't playing his stuff, he still had tour dates that he had to, go to. And apparently, they went great. You know what I'm saying? He didn't miss a beat. Meanwhile, the star was sued again. While all this is going on, hashtag mute R. Kelly, he was sued again by a former partner who said he intentionally infected her with a blank transmitted disease. What was brought up in the trial, okay? So a representative for Kelly said that he categorically denies all claims and allegations. I'm sure, Kelly. The star later baited his critics by releasing a song called I Admit, in which he confessed to being blank unfaithful and documented his own experience of abuse, but denied accusations of that P word and operating a blank cult. So only God can mute me, he sang he sang out loud, "Only God can mute me, and I am supposed to go to jail or lose my career because of your opinion." So he was being a little smug. At this point in my mind, I'm thinking R. Kelly thinks that he's a god of some sort because nobody can catch him. He's either paying his way out of things or, the charges just they don't stick. But in 2019, the new documentary leads to charges. And this is where it all went down. This is where it all went. He didn't bank on this happening, ladies and gentlemen. He did not bank on this happening, but it happened. And I don't know how he felt. I don't know what was going on in his mind. I don't know if he watched the documentary. Um, I don't know. But it was rough to see. It was rough to sit there and listen to these women and look at their faces and know that this is a man who's abused several women, women who he sang about, women who, he was, you know, love all women and women are beautiful and this, that, and the other. And then when he gets off stage, he has a whole cult at the house. I mean, seriously. Hey, Zarp, welcome to the village. I do think he's self-absorbed. I do think he's a bully. I think he's a narcissist. I think he terrorizes people. I think that he is a master manipulator. I'm certainly, not exempt from doing wrong. We all have sinned, but this is ridiculous. A normal person does not think this is okay. And if you know you have a problem, which he clearly admitted, he should have been getting help instead of setting up the camera to commit another crime. You know what I'm saying? Jada says, I may feel a certain way about the verdict, but it is what it is. I just wish that he wasn't so brave to keep doing the mess he was doing. I think that's my problem. Hey P, I think that's my problem. My problem is you admitted that you were doing wrong, and when you said I can't help it. This is what the testimony. He said I can't help it. I don't know how to stop it. Somebody should have been getting him some help. Probably the person that he confided in should have, well, if you don't want to go to a psychiatrist, can I bring one here? Or let's go, I'll go together with you. I don't know if they had SEX anonymous back then or whatever, but something needed to give. Because if you're admitting that you have a problem and it's spiritual and it's mental and it's eating you up, but yes, I believe that he had two personalities. I think Drea was right. R. Kelly and Robert were two different people. I think Drea was mostly married to Robert and everybody else got R. Kelly. And his kids got nothing. So, over the course of 6 hour long episodes, the Lifetime documentary Surviving R. Kelly presents the most comprehensive look yet at the allegations against the musician, which is what we've been talking about lately. We also remember the the wild interview with Gayle King. I'm sorry. I know this is not a laughing matter, but every time I see this, I promise you, every time I see this, I'm like, what? By the way, shout out to BBC.com News for this article. I appreciate you guys. I will give you credit in the description box. Y'all always come through with the news. So we're not gonna pay attention to that commercial. I'm just waiting to see this clip from the interview. That's all I want is the clip. Cause y'all know when he got up and started going crazy. When I tell y'all Gayle King, she sat in that seat and looked at this fool like, whenever you get done, whenever you get done. Look, here we go. Here we go.
Quit playing. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I?
Well,
How stupid would it be for R. Kelly, with all I've been through in my way past, to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50, you said. Why, how stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you
That's
were holding.
stupid, guys.
I didn't.
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to, love me if you want, but just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, oh, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement, and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle.
Robert,
Stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing.
Robert.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
And then, Jesus. I'm sorry. That just gets me every time. Could y'all hear that? Was the volume up? Could y'all hear this? I'm telling y'all, that was one of the craziest interviews I have ever seen in my life. R. Kelly went bananas in there. And Gayle King just sat there like, okay, whenever you get done, we can move on. The look she did in the camera, I wish they had have like continued with that, but of course BBC couldn't put that in the film because he started going off and saying all kinds of stuff. So, oh my god. But do you hear how he was saying that that's not me. I didn't do it. That's not me. Who was sitting there with Gayle? Was it R. Kelly or was it Robert? Hey, boo. Shout out to my sister Sharon Gehring in the house. My sisters are showing up for me. Thank you. Well, who was it? Who was that sitting there? Was that R. Kelly talking to Gayle King or was that Robert? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, for real. Lily said, "I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I saw that Gayle King. I got a I got a raise after that. She needed a raise after that because that was crazy. That was some scary stuff. I was like, he is going to mess up and hit Gayle, and he's going to jail for real for nothing, if for nothing else. Don't put your hands on Gayle. I need you to sit down, sit back in your seat. Are you done? Oh, we're gonna sit down and act like adults, okay? Listen." Prosecutors later filed an additional 11 charges of blank assault and abuse against a minor aged between 13 and 16. So there's only one girl that claims she was 18. One actually ended up being 17, but the 11 charges here was a minor aged between 13 and 16. So the charging documents described sex and oral sex with a minor by the use of force or threat of force. Okay. The accuser is thought to be one of the women featured in Surviving R. Kelly, which was true, who says that she met the singer during the 2008 child blank trial. So in July 2019, the ex trafficking charges. All right. R. Kelly appears in a hearing at Lincoln Criminal Court building in Chicago, Illinois on the 26th of June. In July, Kelly is hit with two separate federal indictments in Illinois and Brooklyn. Combined the allegations despite an organized effort from the star and his associates to recruit and transport underage girls. This is what I was just talking about. Remember, I told you about the guy that was helping him, set up the camera, and R. Kelly was confiding in him that he didn't know what was wrong with him and that he couldn't help himself. Well, here you go. Here you go. The associates to recruit and transport underage girls over state lines for illegal blank purposes, including the production of child blank as well as conspiracy to obstruct justice by destroying evidence, okay, and bribing and or threatening witnesses. This is R. Kelly. R. Kelly's lawyer, Steve Greenberg, says in a statement that his client was aware of the investigations and the charges were not a surprise. He adds that the R&B singer would look forward to his day in court, which of course has happened, to the truth coming out and to his vindication from what has been an oh, really? It's been an assault by others for their own personal gain. Yeah, I bet y'all is singing a different tune now. Look at this. Days later, prosecutors in Minnesota file blank charges against the star, meaning he faces criminal cases in 3 United States. August 2019, Bell was denied. Bell was denied. The star's application for bail is denied by a federal judge in Brooklyn, citing the strong possibility of witness tampering in the singer's upcoming trial. So you know what that means. If he's out, he's going to talk to these people and he's going to start either paying people off again or he's going to threaten their lives in some way. Then March 2020, the trial delayed. So Kelly's Chicago trial from March 2020 was delayed, including they confiscated things, 100 electronic devices, including smartphones, iPads, and hard drives from a storage facility holding the star's tour equipment. So prosecutors also update the charges against the star to add yet another victim to the list of allegations. August 2020, witness tampering has taken place. You see why he had so many charges? I'm just running them down so you guys can see. Like, this is why he has so many charges. In August, 3 of Kelly's associates are charged with attempting to intimidate, harass, or pay off alleged victims in the racketeering case against the singer, which is why the March stuff, was delayed and he was denied. When was he denied? In August of 2019. So this is why, I mean, it's like we know his moves. We know how he's moving. If we give him an inch, he'll try to take a mile. We can't do it. August through September of 2020, prison assault. Towards the end of August, R. Kelly is attacked in his sleep by a fellow inmate in Chicago's Metropolitan Correctional Center. The star's lawyer calls for his immediate release, saying the government cannot ensure his safety. However, the request, along with numerous other attempts to get Kelly released on bail, is denied. Enter June 2021. The legal team replaced. Now, this is for me, ladies and gentlemen, this is where it got sticky. 2 months before his trial is due to begin, Kelly's long term lawyer asked to withdraw from the case. Why? Because you knew you weren't going to win. Steve Greenberg and Michael Leonard said it is impossible for them to work alongside a pair of new lawyers the star has hired. So you had a team. You had Steve and you had Michael. Then you decided to bring a whole nother firm in. What did you think was going to happen? It's unfortunate because these other people are clueless. So Greenberg tells the New York Times, but that's his choice. You can't save someone from themselves, which is what a lot of us have been saying in the chat all the time. He's trapped in, everybody has their own demons, they have their own stuff. But this guy was like, you just don't hear about this stuff every day. Not all of this stuff from one human being. I mean, but then again, he's been doing this for most of his, stardom, I guess. And I'm unaware of everything that happened in his childhood, but this stuff came from somewhere. So in August 2021, Aaliyah relationship was confirmed. Records were brought out. I guess the family cooperated, long story short, and we all know this stuff to be true. The trial begins on August 18th in New York. And if the singer is convicted on all counts, he could be sentenced to several decades in prison. And this is from BBC.com. So that we've just went through all of the allegations. We just went through the whole sheet of what he's been accused. We have just it took us a while, didn't it? it took it took us a while, but we got through it. Okay. Shout out to the 31 in the house. If you guys have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I would love to have you as a member of the Victory Village. Okay. This is a no judgment zone. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves. We're all grown in here, so, keep it respectful, but no judgment. Let's see what y'all are talking about. Jay says Steven Spielberg was a crappy lawyer. He lied on R. Kelly saying that he didn't know Aaliyah's age. Really? Like people wouldn't find a video of R. Kelly saying her age. Wow. Wow. Sharon is going off in the comments. But I mean, seriously though, Sharonda, I mean, like, you know, and I don't know how many people, thanks, Carol. I don't know how many people out there are like, well, I don't believe that R. Kelly did all this. And yeah, he should have had more better lawyers or, this, that, and the other. I mean, but isn't it worth looking into after so many people said, this happened to me? Excuse me. This happened to me and I was underage. And the people that were in the documentary that literally were being found, the one girl that was saying, I wasn't held against my will, I wanted to be here. And one of those girls that said that actually turned around and said she was lying. She was afraid. She couldn't get, I don't know how to leave, I'm afraid. One of the girls in the documentary close to the end, was like climbing out of a door or a window or something because she wanted to meet up with her mom, and she had on a wife beater, a white tank top, but it was like a boy's wife beater or whatever, and she finally, escaped, but she said she was scared to death. She just knew. And so they smuggled the girl in the vehicle and, just left. And there's really nothing you can do about it. Um, you know, it's not like she belonged to R. Kelly. I mean, my thing was, where? I mean, I don't know what to say, guys. I'm just like flabbergasted at all of this stuff. Kelly is my favorite singer. I'm so upset. This is going down. R. Kelly music, literally, my life. I loved his music. I was just telling them I was a big old heathen back in the day, and I used to jam to some R. Kelly. Shoot, you couldn't like. There were some songs of R. Kelly that I just was like, this will make you backslide. Like he had some music that was like, oh my goodness. Okay, this is it. Now, here's my thing, and I said this all the time. I don't think R. Kelly had the best voice. I don't. I think his genius was that he was an entertainer. He was good on stage. He was good in music videos. I think that he had a certain style. I mean, he really played up, I'm so much more than a superstar type of thing. He looked untouchable and he had a really good style with his clothes. Sharon, shut up. He had a lot of style with his clothes, the way he used to dress, the way that he used to put these music videos together. He was undeniable. He was a superstar, an absolute celebrity in every sense of the word. But he was also a manipulative pervert. Yeah. It was the songs. And apparently he was writing these songs. Somebody was writing the words down for him or typing or something cuz remember he's illiterate. So for me, I mean it's just and when I heard the first, accounts, I was like, did he really urinate on this? And how old are they saying she is? I mean, it was a lot to take in. And every time he got away scot free, people would be around talking about, no, no, he was found innocent. He's innocent. And come to find out, he was paying people off. He was paying people off. Zarp said, I wonder if he'll try to release more albums while in prison. Somebody earlier said that he probably will. And I was in Cheryl's live stream earlier today after lunch, and I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to go to gospel music while he's in prison. Because the only person he needs to be talking to is Jesus. And I'm not even kidding. Like, seriously, he needs the help of the Lord. And he needed it a long time ago. And it's not like he doesn't know. He went to church. This man knows. But for some reason, he's just like, I can't help myself. And that's scary. That's the scary thing, is that a monster lives inside you and you can't control it. That is absolutely scary. I only bring it up because he'll never drop these appeals ever, ever. They'll go on for years, even decades, and those lawyers cost tons of money. And from my understanding, R. Kelly is running out of money. He didn't even have enough money to pay. There was something before all of this started, and he wanted to go home or something. He didn't have enough money to bail him out if he was granted bail. Jade says to Sharon, I can totally relate. He made the most beautiful music. For me, it wasn't the beautifulness. You know what I'm saying? I was a dancer, so I wanted to dance. I didn't care. Don't please. I don't see nothing wrong with a bump and grind. Was not one of my favorite songs. It was popular, but I didn't want to hear that mess. I'm serious. I was all about the videos when they were two stepping, and you know what I'm saying? Like that. That's where he shined at. He has done gospel music, none that I would listen to, but I was never a fan, Jada, of when the celebrities, they have a whole album of R&B, and then they put that one gospel song in there as a tribute to the Lord. That's never been my cup of tea. Don't put the well, why are you don't put my Jesus at the end of your CD. I don't want him there. He should be at the beginning. Don't put don't put my Jesus at the end of your CD. Stop that. That's so disrespectful. He's the last song on the CD. Stop it. No, ma'am, and no, sir. But I feel you. Um, my favorite was the song that he wrote for Whitney Houston, I Look to You. That video, oh, she was beautiful. You would think she was totally making a comeback. I mean, her hair was flawless, her makeup was flawless. Whoever set that whole thing up made Whitney Houston look like an angel. And that's the last thing that I want to remember, um, before her tragic demise, was that video, I Look to You. I'm so in love with that song. I couldn't even sing it in church. Like, for real. I just can't. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much. You remind me of my Jeep. That's the dumbest crap. And people was out there dropping it like it was hot. Rebecca Starr, welcome to the village. Two Kellys in the news. Absolutely. How ironic is that? I got two Kellys on the thumbnail, y'all. Sarf says he has catchy songs. Yes, they don't make a lot of sense sometimes, but they were catchy. That was the genius of R. Kelly. Y'all remember Uncle Cracker from back in the day? That was their genius. They don't have great voices, but the tune is catchy. It's like elevator music. You know what I'm saying? Who is that? Who said that? Sharon said that video is so dumb. Like, but people were jamming though. Jay says, I believe I can fly. Yep. I'm your angel. Didn't like it. You saved me. Not a bit. The storm is over now. Nope. I wish. Never heard of it. And the list goes on. But I did hear I can believe you can fly because I sang it in karaoke a couple of times. So, but I just wasn't a fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was early. It was early on R. Kelly for me. Sharon said I love that song. It was early R. Kelly for me. But I think, and this is just my opinion, that R. Kelly was a better producer. And even though I'm gonna say yes, he was writing songs or whatever, I don't know how that worked. That's one thing that is driving me crazy. If he's illiterate, he can't read and he can't write. How was he getting the songs to people? Because he was writing songs for people, and he knew how to run the master board in the studio, and where the mic should be sat, and the whole nine, what levels, this, that, and the other was supposed to be. Like, he knew all of that stuff in the studio. But how were you who was helping him? And I'm sure he had plenty of help. You know what I'm saying? But when you're a songwriter, and I get this from Kelly, what's her name? Kim. what is that girl's name from Atlanta Housewives? Candy Burris. Um, Songs are sacred. And so a lot of times you don't want people looking at the words that you're writing until you get done with the whole thing. Taylor Swift says the same thing. She's old school. She writes her music in a diary of some sort, and they don't get seen by anybody until, it's a done deal. It's finished. So I don't know, he had to have somebody who was really close to him, I guess, or maybe music wasn't like that for him. I don't know. But it seems odd to me that R. Kelly um couldn't read or write, yet he was getting this stuff done, and it was beyond amazing. Jade says going from sinner to saint is a common theme in R&B. It's also a common theme in prison. It's called top lining right off the top of your head. I just call that writing it off the top of my head. I don't call it top lining. I've been singing since I was like 5, and my mother was the singer of the family, and it was kind of like the R. Kelly, the Kelly Price stuff. Everybody in my family is a musician, or we sing, or we preach, or whatever. Um, and that just is our lineage. That's what we do. But going into the studio and writing off the top of your head, just being able, to wing it is something that in the gospel music um, era, that's what we do anyway. When we get to a vamp or a run in a song in church, we ain't thinking about what's on the paper no more, and we can't remember what was on that CD. All we know is that we have hit our groove and it's about to go down. So I'm wondering how that works in the studio when R. Kelly is quote unquote writing his music, because it's difficult if you can't read, you can't even type. That's a problem for me, because I like for my um my artist juices, or whatever you want to call them, to flow from my head to my hand, and I'm typing or I'm writing. So I just can't fathom that, because I am a musician. I play flute, play percussion, play piano and keyboard, sing, and it's all a process. It's all a process. So I'm like, if something was stopping my process, that would irritate me. So I'm just kind of wondering, was it hard for him? Was he working with just one person that could understand his technique? Like, it's hard for me to understand. Unique says that, child, they say Kelly Price bought her husband a record label. Ain't that something? Actually, that's true. It is in fact true. I found that out earlier today, this afternoon, when I was doing my inch high private eye. During this time that she has been MIA, because they got married, remember, in 2020. Soon after, she in fact purchased him a record label, because he wants to be a producer. He wants to do the music thing. Can he sing? I don't know. I don't know what he can do, but I know he's 10 years younger than Kelly Price, and I know that, I don't know what he's going to do with this record label, but I mean, to each his own. If she's got that kind of money, work it out, sister. Zarp says that I don't believe for a second that he's illiterate. 54 years old, and he can't read or write one word. I can't believe it. I'm telling you, it's hard to believe, but that's what he said. He said he doesn't know how to write or read. So I don't know, child. Ron says I think he used his music to share what he was doing. Because listening now, it's weird. Exactly. You just, and a lot of celebrities do that. A lot of celebrities do that. They can't talk to you face to face or straight up about anything, but they can sing it to you, or they can rap it to you. And that's not uncommon, in the industry. When you're in the music industry, they always tell you that, tap into your pain, tap into your anguish. That's going to be your number one hit. You know what I'm saying? So it's still hard for me. I agree with Zarb. It's way difficult for me to believe that this man is illiterate, 54 years old. He has hired so many people to work his life. I just don't want anybody looking at my unfinished work. I don't want to share that with anybody until, it's done and it's finished and I'm ready to, put this out there. Jay says that Marvin Gaye did the same thing with his music, Sinner to Saint. It's an R&B. Well, Marvin Gaye started in the church, right? And then he got his record deal in R&B. And so Marvin Gaye actually, I don't remember Marvin Gaye going back to gospel music before he died. He could have, but I don't recall. But he had a great voice. I love his voice. His Marvin Gaye had one of the I'm telling you, Marvin Gaye, and then you got Donny Hathaway. Y'all know Layla Hathaway, Donnie's daughter. Whew, that's the music right there. That's the music right there. It's some folk that I wish were still here because I miss their music and they're so talented and so gifted. And this is sad. I'm not gonna lie. I actually wish, and y'all know I don't never, give nobody a break, but I really wish R. Kelly we could turn back the hands of time and he could get help so that he could, still be, a legend for the right reason. Don't want him to go down like this. But he did a lot of stuff and he hurt a lot of people. And when I look at this, CBS this morning, when I look at that video, the only thing that keeps turning around in my head, ladies and gentlemen, is that's not me. I didn't do that. That's an action of someone who has a split personality. You actually believe that you didn't do this. And you could look at him in the interview. He was not high, he was not drunk, but he really standing there, he believed his own self. He believed that what he was saying was true. I just I'm just like, that's got to be some crazy stuff to live trapped in your own head. That's got to be crazy. Because this man was like, and Gayle King, Gayle, that look on your face, girl, that's priceless. We're never going to forget that. Jason Sam Cooke started off in the church. Yes, a lot of them did. What did they used to call them back then? Scouts. Scouts would go, to different churches and stuff. Um, to find the Etta James and all of those voices that you hear back, Muddy Waters, Sam Cooke. They went to the churches and the juke joints to find the best talent because that's where they were. They were either at the church or at the juke joint. You know what I'm saying? So I wish I knew the story of how R. Kelly got discovered. Like, who was he? Who discovered R. Kelly? Does anybody know? Jace, this is the thing with R. Kelly really hurts, and it hurts because he is so talented. Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to see R. Kelly go down like this, because he was a celebrity. My parents even knew who R. Kelly was. And my dad's the bishop, mom's the first lady. And you're telling me y'all how y'all know? How y'all know? Oh, R. Kelly was on Oprah. R. Kelly was, seen doing stuff for people at Christmas. Oh, R. Kelly, gave a girl, a car or something like that. Like he was trying to help the homeless and feed the hungry and giving turkeys away at Christmas. And, he just did so many things that everybody knew who he was, regardless. Like my mom knows who the Black Eyed Peas are because they were on TV and they helped this woman. He bought this woman a house. Wyclef bought this woman a house, and then they were doing things like that. And I was like, okay, when you step out of the realm of being a superstar, right, and you start doing, philanthropy work and working with the public and stuff, you're building a whole other, uh, celebrity status, so to speak. And for me, it just your transactions just wiped all that away. All of the stuff that you did that was so good for our communities, this what you've done overshadows all of that. Like where you're trying to wash away your guilt with that, or you think you could just, I don't know, pay God off. Let me go get a couple of homeless guys off the street so, what I did doesn't look so bad. I mean, what? What were you thinking? Demetrius Smith is one who discovered R. Kelly. Okay. Demetrius Smith. Okay. I didn't know where R. Kelly came from. All I know is he popped up on the scene and I was like, who is this? Who is this dude? Who are you, sir? With the little cute suit on. I mean, he's R. Kelly's not my type. Um, but look at him in in court, right? Let me see if I can find a picture of him. He he does not. I mean, he still doesn't look bad. He doesn't look bad. I mean, he didn't look good though. He looked a little rough around the edges. I'm not gonna lie, but you when you're in jail, I guess. Let me see. Where's my window? Here's a picture of him right here in court with his lawyer. Not a good haircut. Why didn't they let him put a suit on? He couldn't put a suit on? He's just like so unshaven and so unkept. I mean, I know he's in prison, but they knew he had to come to court. Let that man put on a suit. Look rough. There were some people testifying in court that R. Kelly was doing good deeds for people. Yeah. Now that's one thing that I never take away from R. Kelly. He really did do great things for people. And I wasn't joking when I said that he would give around Thanksgiving and Christmas. They would have holiday festivities and he would really give families food, like big turkeys and stuff like that. Like he really, was a philanthropist in that, sense. He helped people. He had a couple of charities, one which was like I don't know what you call it, like a shelter, like the Salvation Army. It was a yearly thing that he donated thousands of dollars to the charities. And also what I used to like about R. Kelly was the fact that not all of the proceeds, but like a portion of proceeds, like from his biggest records, just saying, um, would go to a charity or a concert because Prince was really good at this too. He would have a concert and the proceeds would go to, the Save a Child or the Make a Wish or, the cancer hospital for children. They were always doing stuff like that. And I know it's good for their taxes because they're celebrities. So I know they're coached to do that. But, they are allowed to pick their own charities and stuff. And the going the extra mile is another thing that R. Kelly was popular about. It just, made you feel, good about him. He's a good guy. He's a good artist. He's a good producer. And ooh, he loves the kids. And ooh, he loves, helping people. You know what I mean? Like if R. Kelly picked up your little baby and, gave him a kiss and, took a picture with the baby, that was cute, because when your kid grows up, it's like, oh, look, my baby met R. Kelly when he was 2 or whatever. Well, I bet you won't be showing that picture. As a matter of fact, put that picture away. Okay? We don't need it. We don't need this. One thing that I am glad of though, I'm glad that he's not another statistic on the street, not another George Floyd, because that could have happened. That could have happened. If you've got a rap sheet as long as R. Kelly's, that could have happened. A cop could have, pulled him over and realized who he was, you know what I'm saying? So he still has his life and he can still, you know, turn over a new leaf. Will he? We don't know. So we'll just wait and see what happens after sentencing, because that's really the only thing we can do. Sharon, you're so silly. But that's all we can do is just wait until after sentencing and, see, what's what. Because at the end of the day, um, we all know he's gonna do some time. That's for sure. That's for sure. He's going to do some time. And so, whether he's gonna get that life sentence or not is what we're actually wondering now. I really believe there needs to be another documentary made, and it needs to tell the full story, not just the smoke and mirror story. I don't want to see any more of R. Kelly shenanigans, to be honest with you. I think them just telling the story, is good enough. Now, I'll tell you what I do foresee. I foresee R. Kelly trying to strike up a deal to get his side of his documentary done or his life story. I could definitely see that happening. I don't think that somebody needs to just pull up and go, this is the story of R. Kelly. I think he's going to try to do it himself. And it'll stop up to right now, he's in jail and he's serving this, life sentence, blah blah blah. excuse me, in hopes of maybe what do they do? Appeal. They appeal is what I'm trying to think of. I'm sorry. I'm not good with the legal jargon, but I think it's an appeal when you try to get something overturned. Um, I I'm thinking that's going to happen. I'm thinking the very day of the uh the verdict, the sentencing. I mean, I think that same day they're probably going to file for um they're going to file. They're going to file for an appeal, as he should. Lifetime did it, and they did it sideways. Yeah, I think, but I don't think he's gonna choose Lifetime for that. He'll probably, try to make a deal with like BET or MTV or something, VH1 or something like that. Um, I mean, I would watch it. I would want to see what R. Kelly would have to say, and the people in his life, because the documentary was not made to show R. Kelly in good light. It was actually made to show the stories of the people he hurt. So it's a little bit of a difference, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I agree. He'll do a documentary from prison to try to help his image for appeal. Exactly. I know he's going to. He's got people working for him right now. So this is what we're gonna do. Well, we got plan A. Plan A didn't work. We're gonna do plan B. Like, you already know. You already know. The only thing that will stop this train is if R. Kelly runs out of money for real. Now, if R. Kelly goes completely broke, I'm sorry, but everybody's probably gonna pull out. They'll be like, "Nah, man." It's like, but when you get you some money, we'll continue this. Um, so I'm hoping, I hope he does do a documentary. I hope he does tell his story, because I'm interested in knowing what was going on in his head, and I want to know what he meant when he was saying, I can't help it. I can't help what I'm doing. I want to know what I know. Is he actually going to come to clean and let the public know the demons he was really facing and why all of this, was happening? Because I've never heard of a man being married to a beautiful woman. I think Drea is beautiful. She's a great dancer. She's in tip top shape. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with, Andrea. I think she's a doll. And their kids are beautiful children, okay? I don't understand why he didn't want to spend time with his children, and I don't understand how you could be married to R. Kelly and not go in any room of your house. How is that possible that you are married to a whole man with a whole mansion, but there are certain rooms that you can't go into? Bruh, you need to rethink this marriage thing, because this ain't working for me. It's like, I'm not fixing to live in no house and I can't go in a room in my house. Now, if we're dating and this is your house or whatever, it's none of my business at that point. But listen, Linda, I I live here and you telling me I can't go in that room. When you leave the house, that's the first thing I'm going to do is go in that room. Zarb said that, has there been any comments about his conviction from his wife or children? Um, his children have respectfully declined. Um, Drea just is, holding up for the kids. I think that that's the best thing to do, because his kids are, I don't know. I'm gonna say upset. I'm just gonna say they're upset. Um, But in my mind, they don't know what to feel. They didn't get a chance to be a daddy's girl or a daddy's boy. And this man is going to prison for life. So you're telling me that y'all didn't have a daddy your whole life. You knew who he was and you knew he was the R. Kelly. The only time that they might get to spend with him in depth is going to see him in prison if he's allowed, visitors. Yeah, he did. He threatened Drea. Um, he beat her. Um, the police reports and the pictures of her, battered face and her little black eyes and stuff like that. And she's such a tiny woman. I can't ride for, R. Kelly for that. Those are shenanigans, man. Like that's not cool at all. I don't agree with anybody, beating up on anybody, but as big and tall as R. Kelly is, he had no business putting his hands on that little tiny woman. Jay says that Lifetime romanticized Aaliyah and R. Kelly's relationship in that god awful movie Aaliyah, the Princess of R&B. Then they turned right around and demonized it in Surviving R. Kelly. I mean, listen, uh, the television is all about money, just like the silver screen. They got paid for it. I don't care what you tell. Tell your story how you want to. Give me my money. That's what that was. That's what that was, Jade. That's the check. They're only interested in the money. Okay. Hey, Catherine, welcome to the village, girl. This is some devilish mess the whole way around. I am one person that I can honestly say without the shadow of a doubt that I might be a little afraid of the man R. Kelly slash Robert Kelly. I would not like to meet him in person ever. Yeah, like you have your list of stars that you want to meet one day. You know what I'm saying? And you at least talk to him online or something. Um, R. Kelly is not on my list. I don't ever want to be in his presence. Like he just gives me the chills. For real. I'm not kidding. Like I remember he had came out with this song, the song or whatever they were in the music video. You guys probably remember, and they were doing that the "Step in the Name of Love." That video, I mean, I looked at that man and I was like, there is something wrong there. There's something wrong. I wasn't listening to the lyrics of the song or anything like that. It's just his face and it was like the way he was delivering in that video kind of spooked me out a little bit. And that's why I remember that song and that's why I remember that video. It was different from other songs. Sometimes, he would have a straight face when he was trying to, do all the dancing and stuff like that. And in the, you remind me of my Jeep stuff, you know what I'm saying? But that day was a totally different day. Like I don't know what was going on with him, but nah. I was like that right there. And I don't know how many people pay attention to stuff like that. But I'm a people watcher, and something was going on in that video, and it was very uncomfortable. Sharon says that was the scat thing about the documentary. He controlled them as soon as he had them in the house, never let them leave the house, which was really weird. They couldn't leave the house unless it was with him or one of his minions. Zarpta, she said that he hogtied her. Yeah, yeah. That's listen. That's what he said. So mods, we got a creep in the room. Zarp, he did some horrible stuff. He did. He did some crazy stuff. He can't deny it. Television is literally too much about money. Surviving R. Kelly is proof that it is. I'm telling money talks, honey. Money talks all day, every day. Ree, hey, what happened to all the women who worked with him? Remember the 1W part trapped in the closet? Where are all those girls? I don't know. Probably hiding so that they won't be subpoenaed to come to court. Of course, they don't have to worry about it now because it's over. Um, Now I will say this, kind of like Kelly Price, it is said that R. Kelly was not the easiest person to work with. So, I don't know. I've never worked with R. Kelly. Um, and he was never the person to show you behind the scenes footage, like Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson and, people like that. You always get to see some behind the scenes footage, like he was never that person. We never got to see what was going on behind closed doors, the production of it all. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks, mods. Um, Jade, are you suited up? Let me go in the studio and see something for a minute. I had to see how many mods I have in the house. Information man told me today I needed to get some more. You need more mods. I said, why? Why are you trying to dog me out? Let me see. Sharon, I thought you were blue. All right. Sharon and Jade join Miss Catherine. Catherine is she's a OG. She knows what's up in these parts. Modding for me is not easy, but I do need some more mods. If you guys are hanging around, I gave you a blue suit. Thank you for always being there for me. Hello, Edward. I have missed you. Where you been? Where you been? Another great mod of mine. How you doing? Anyway, listen. Um, Lord Jesus, where am I going with this? I gotta find this picture right here. That's what I want. I'm gonna go to another picture because we gotta change the subject real quick. But I mean, you guys can still talk about R. Kelly. I just have to make a little um make a little thing right here because we don't want to leave without talking about Kelly Price, right? Thanks to the 39 in the house. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for my thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell. Okay. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm an insomniac, you guys. I don't go to sleep very well at night. I do sometimes, but sometimes it's a no. And so I appreciate y'all hanging up with me. Like, you know, when I started doing this, I had no idea that so many people would be up late at night. I like y'all. I like y'all. I like y'all. Hey Lisa, welcome to the village. God tried to tell him now that he has to trade in his life or go CR. Listen, I think God was talking to R. Kelly a long time ago and he just was not hearing it. But you know what, Lisa? My dad used to say that. He's a pastor of a church here where I live, and I used to ask my dad about this guy. He had a brother that went to our church, but the guy that I would always see, he would always be roaming the streets or whatever. And I asked my dad about him, and that's what happened to him, according to people at the church. That literally he was in the army, and he was supposed to start a ministry and he didn't, and it just took over his brain. Like he just snapped and turned into something else, and I was like, really, that can happen? So I don't know. According to the saints, it can happen, so you might be right. Reese says, I love this channel and I don't sleep well either. Thanks, sis. At least I got some company. We must chat about Miss Price or Mrs. Price. No, Mrs. Price Crump. Okay, she hashtagged that name. All right, Mrs. Price Crump. I'm still mad at Kelly. Right? Don't ever in life let no one who checks you right disrespect your family. Okay, because I'm telling you now. Let's look at some things about this here Kelly Price, cause she's been up to some shenanigans. Kelly, I'm really upset with you, girl, and I'm gonna tell you why, girl. I'm upset with you, girl, because you actually said that your family threw you under the bus. Threw you under the bus. You said that you were betrayed by your family. That's what you said in an interview today. How? Hey JJ, how? Sharon, I always forget that you're in California. Your time is like so different. I'm jealous. I'm too much of a night owl to sleep. You're not alone. Thank God. I'll start calling y'all the Victory Village Insomniacs. Have a daytime show and a nighttime show. Hey, if y'all happen to walk down the street to this side of Twanna Y'vette TV and you're usually in the daytime, I don't mean to neglect you guys. I listen, in case you didn't know, my daughter just got over the virus. She's doing fine. But I had the kids during the daytime, so I couldn't do the daytime show. I might bring it back, but I'm like an insomniac, and sometimes when I have the kids, normally it's in the daytime. Harmony is 6 months, and Honesty is 5 years old. So they're a handful. But I love my babies. I love being a grandmother, and there's just they just got me wrapped around their little fingers. So, but I might come back a couple times a week in the daytime. I'm just more, well, Sharon, you guys know I'm just more of a nighttime person. That's all. So, it doesn't mean I'm not going to come back to daytime. It just means I'm just kind of in my zen right here. So, Zarb says she's officially not a missing person now. Have people seen her with their own eyes? No. Her attorney said yesterday that she will have to appear in person, and that was by the police department. They're not going to take her name off of the list until she appears in person. So whenever she feels like coming back to Atlanta, I guess that's when she will not be a missing person anymore. It didn't matter the stunt that she tried to pull with her and her lawyer doing this little Zoom meeting or whatever. That won't suffice. Um, the authorities have said she needs to show up. She needs to walk through the door. Okay, so I don't know what she plans on doing. I don't know. Aw, boo. I love you too, sis. um, Now, back to the shenanigans. I will say that I'm still surprised at this lady. She was I loved her too. Kelly Price has a really beautiful voice. Amazing voice. Hey Sabrina, R. Kelly is sick and he needs professional help. I did say that. He is. He is sick. He does need professional help. I don't think he's gonna get it, but you know what I'm saying? They said decades. BBC said decades. What's this other article? The Insider said decades. He stands to face decades of his life in prison. He's 50, he's in his 50s, right? He's 54. He's not going anywhere. Renee, I heard that. I'm going to get to that in a minute. I heard she was a hologram. Oh, Lord. I did. I heard she was a hologram. Like, girl, by who says that? My goodness. R. Kelly is not, Kelly Price, I'm getting the Kellys mixed up. Kelly Price wasn't was she a hologram? She was not a hologram. Y'all play too much. Y'all play too much. Um, my only concerning question is why the attorney? Now, this is something that I found out, Catherine. This might help us understand. The attorney usually means that the facility, the celebrity is going to is for mental health. It is not for physical health. So if she needed the attorney to do something, it was either, I'm on drugs or I'm losing my mind, or she did that as a stunt to scare her family. But what Kelly wasn't banking on this, but her lawyer knows that it was the proper authorities that placed her in the missing persons report. It was not her sister who did that. It was the authorities. After they couldn't find a body and couldn't get a phone call or anything from Kelly, they said she is officially missing. That had nothing to do with her sister and what her sister was saying. It's two totally different things. If her sister had have said, I need to file a missing persons report on my sister, it is a possibility that she could just go up there and say, well, we found my sister and she's not missing anymore. But now that the authorities are involved, they are the ones who are going to have to take her off the list, which means that she has to show up in person. Now, if her so called husband is really controlling everything, he may have been the reason that Kelly, did all of that yesterday, the TMZ interview. Because who, first of all, listen, I ain't got nothing against TMZ, but who does that? Your first interview is going to be with TMZ? We love you too, Catherine. We love you too. My family. For real, though. I'm not going to TMZ. That's going to be my first stop to put an end to all of this. Girl, bye. TMZ? Renee says people are saying she's a clone. I mean, the hologram thing was funny. Remember when they tried to turn Whitney Houston into a hologram and they said that the hologram was going to go on tour? I was like, child, bye. Y'all need to stop. Whitney gone. And y'all trying to make a hologram? No. Ree, I heard R. Kelly made an example for everybody in the industry. If you ever doubted that R. Kelly was, guilty or innocent, this here guilty verdict should be an eye opener for a lot of people. And when that sentencing comes, honey, y'all thought R. Kelly acted a fool in court today? You wait till sentencing. Oh my, oh my God. Catherine says Wendy Williams claimed that she tried to teach Robert Kelly how to read. I think, but what didn't they talk about this on her radio show when he was like really popular and he went to did anybody else listen to Wendy Williams? She offered. I don't think she tried to teach, but she did offer. Um but it's still just hard for me to believe that this man is 54 years old and he can't read or write. That just how do you read stop signs and stuff? Like, how do you know? Like, what do you do when you go to a restaurant and you can't read the menu? How does that work even? Hi, Lisa. This is the time he needs to trade in his life flat out. He needs Jesus. Need to find Jesus. I know he knows who Jesus is, but you need to, get you a solid rock, sir, because you're going to need it. If R. Kelly is so um what is the word they use? Like he was irrational, because he doesn't like to be caged in. He doesn't like to be locked up. Just imagine after this sentencing, he's gonna lose it. Sharon said Wendy Williams probably did. She did radio for many years. Yeah, she did. I remember her saying that she offered or whatever, but I don't know how that conversation went out. Shoot. I I ain't gonna lie. I probably would have been like, I can get you some help. I'm not gonna teach you how to read, but I can get you some help. JJ says, yeah, I was surprised with that TMZ. Kelly could have done it on Instagram. Kelly reports she had Rona twice. Right. My thing is, you could have got, the morning show. You could have got any of these famous people. Um, you know, Gail. Gail was available. I'm sure she would have, interviewed you. um you know Anybody, anybody, BBC, the Insider, somebody, but you chose TMZ to do this with. But then again, I did meet some people in Information Man's podcast today who actually didn't know who Kelly Price is. They were in the chat going, who is Kelly Price? I'm like, are you serious? Are you black? what What do you mean, sir? Who is Kelly Price? They knew who R. Kelly was, but they know who Kelly Price was. I was like, what? That's weird, isn't it? Jade says, as much as I love Debrat for being a loyal friend, she was out of pocket for what she said about Nikki Gilbert. She is not a clout chaser. She is a founding member of Brownstone. Used to love Brownstone. I thought they were very talented. I like Nikki. She does the plus size models and all that kind of stuff. But I do feel, and look, don't hang me, it's just my opinion, but I feel like Nikki Gilbert should have stayed out of it. If you talked to your friend Kelly Price, let that conversation stay private because it didn't do anything but confuse it brought more confusion. And I really okay, I'm not gonna say what I feel about this, but Brat, she's on radio, she's got her opinion. I probably would have been the person to not speak on it. You know what I'm saying? If I don't hang out with Kelly Price and I don't see her on a date, you know what I'm saying? We don't really communicate like that. I'm probably gonna keep my mouth shut or just speculate on the radio, but I'm not gonna go on social media talking about I talked to my friend and she's all right. Like, kind of not my place. You know what I'm saying? We do a little prayer, but I'm not sticking my neck out. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. I can't see you. We did FaceTime, so I don't know if that's you or not. Okay. Remember, Ti and Tiny and Shekinah or whatever. Shekinah said, "I don't know them like that. I don't know what they did. I don't know what they do behind closed doors. That's not my place." Period. Reese said, "I think Nikki said a little too much." I think so too. She tried to clear her own name. I That's why you stay out of people's business though. That right there is why you stay out of people's business. You don't know the full story. You don't know what's going on. Going back to, her sister's suspicions, I'm suspicious of the same thing. There's nothing that would be stopping Kelly Price from showing up in person to the proper authorities because she's clear, right? She said it's been a week since she got a clear, read that, she doesn't have the virus anymore. So with that being said, why don't you go do the right thing? Like what is the hold up? At this point, don't you want to give your kids a hug? Don't you want to make amends with your sister? You said you died on the table, ma'am. Wouldn't you want to wake up and praise God and go hug your kids and hug your sister and say sorry and, have a happy life because you don't know how long we got on this earth and life is really too short to be playing these shenanigans. Life is really too short for you to be, acting stubborn and selfish because you don't want to talk to your family because this is nothing new. You look dumb. You look stupid, and that's just my opinion. I'm sorry, but you look real dumb. I asked my daughter's 29. I asked her before I came on the show, would you find it strange if you didn't talk to me for a couple of days or whatever? And my daughter was like, I would find it strange if, yeah, you didn't like text me at least a couple times a day. Because we'll have a text conversation, all night because she doesn't want to wake the babies up, but she'll want to talk to me and until she gets sleepy sometimes. It's just what, that's just what she does. She's my baby. She's 29 years old. She's my baby. She's got my grandbabies, but sometimes she just wants, mommy time, and that's fine. I hope I hope it never ends. I hope it never ends. You know that thing that people say when your kids become a teenager, they don't want to talk to you. I never went through that with Bree. Never went through that. We've because I mean I've always been open, with her about my life. I don't try to be the perfect human in front of my daughter because I wanted her to always, talk to me about anything. So, my relationship I guess is a little different. That's why it's hard for me to understand. Why have you not gotten on a plane, a train, an automobile of some sort, the first thing smoking? And get your behind to your family. It doesn't matter if your kids are grown. Everybody's got to grow up, but dang, Kelly, you ain't making no sense. It just doesn't make sense. Jace's Brownstone was signed to MJJ Music. That's not clout chasing, that's a legacy. And Nikki Gilbert's name was being dragged in the press. Well, she didn't want to be a part of the mess. Kelly's family called her. I probably would have been like, I love y'all and I got y'all on the prayer list and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye. I know, Catherine. I'm serious though. Look, these folks are grown. People act like these are teenagers. These people are grown. Nikki Gilbert didn't have to pick up the phone and do none of this. She could have sat quietly in her living room and eat peanuts or whatever she does and watch TV and, just pray. When you pray tonight, put your sister, put your girlfriend on your prayer list and keep your mouth shut because this ain't none of your business. It's none of your business. Stay in your lane. That's how you control this stuff is you stay in your lane. Okay? Jay just said that's how I thought too. It seemed like she was gloating about that something. I mean, stay in your place. Not your business. That's not your family. I've got friends that I'm close with, okay? And I go to bat for them, but when it comes to family situations, uh-uh. You're not gonna put me in the middle of that. Everybody knows I'm your friend or whatever, but all I can do is pray for y'all. I'm not getting involved with that. Sabrina said, I hope Kelly and Nikki make a song after this. Probably will. But I'm gonna tell you now, if Kelly Price comes out with a song next week, I'm not listening to it. I'll scratch her from my Spotify. Edward says she may have a good reason. For what? She ain't got no good reason for leaving her kids hanging. And I don't believe that her children knew where she was every step of the way. I feel like that was a lie. I think maybe she talked to her baby girl, once, and then all of a sudden she dropped off the face of the earth, because there's no way hell could freeze over before your daughter is like sobbing and crying and all this kind of stuff because she hasn't heard from you and she thinks you probably are deceased by now, and you wouldn't want to put a stop to that. Why would you not want to put a stop to your children's worry? Why do you really get a good feeling out of doing this, Kelly Price? I would never leave my kid hanging like that. Never. Oh my God. Talk about bad parenting. Talking about, I raised them, they grown now, but then you turn around and say, oh, but I think she was easily manipulated. So she's grown, but easily manipulated. You just threw your child under the bus, Kelly. That don't sound right. That sounds like something somebody would say to a kid at school or something, like, you are so dumb, you are so stupid. Like that wasn't cute. That didn't explain anything. I think that's crazy. And you look crazy. You look crazy as hell. For real. You shouldn't have even done that interview. What you should have done is just showed up, and then showed up for your family, let them know that you're okay. Everybody was asking me on my interview I did, but not the interview, but the show that we did last night. Why is this public consumption? Why are we talking about this? Because she put it on Instagram. She started this whole thing in July. So if she didn't want anybody talking about this, what do you do when you don't want people talking about you? You keep your mouth shut. You keep your mouth shut. If these look at Gayle. We don't know who she go with. We don't know who she's married to. All we know is Gayle King is the bomb interviewer. I couldn't tell you if Oprah is still with Stedman. They could be secretly married. We don't know, and ain't gonna know because they don't put their business out on Front Street. There are some celebrities that are really celebrities in the sense that you only need my talent. You don't need my personal life. And I can definitely appreciate that because some things need to be private. So the next time somebody says, "Why are we talking about this?" It warrants to be talked about because hey, you brought it up. You wanted somebody to talk about this. Otherwise, you wouldn't have started putting this stuff on Instagram. Reese says, "I don't hear from my mom sometimes 2 weeks, but we always catch up." Now, me and my mom may not physically talk, every day, but like a few minutes ago when I was on air and she sent me a text or whatever, she was going to bed. We're gonna text or whatever, and I'm glad my mom, she knows how to text. She's 73, so I'm glad she knows how to text. But it's like, Mom, I can't believe that you're actually texting, and she loves it because sometimes she don't want to talk, and that's fine. But I'm always gonna know how she's doing, and I'm always gonna tell her how I'm doing, so she doesn't worry. That's what you do. You keep in touch with each other so your family doesn't worry. Doesn't matter if you've had a fight or y'all are beefing. Just let me know that you're all right. That doesn't warrant a conversation. Text me and let me know you're alive. I'll text you back and say, okay, thanks. And that's it. What was that? 3 seconds? I mean, come on. That you, girl. Anyway, Mickey says the truth will set you free. This is some holy mess. It is. I can't take her seriously after this. I can't. I cannot take Kelly Price seriously after this. Not seeing her on Sunday Best, speaking in tongues, shouting and jumping over pews and all this kind of stuff. And then you could go and do this. You could have put a stop to all of this. This stuff didn't even have to happen. When you hear somebody knocking on your door, Kelly, answer the door, especially if it's the police. They're doing a welfare check. Thank you, Esau. No, I am not. I'm glad you recognize. Recognize. Catherine said Gayle King is an excellent interviewer. Yes, indeed. Love Gayle. Honey, Gayle didn't get up out of the seat when she was talking to R. Kelly. She looked at R. Kelly like, boy, you better go somewhere and sit down. Reset. Gail said R. Kelly off and didn't care. And did not care. And it was hilarious. We got some trolls mods, I think. I'm looking at this on my restream, so I don't know if you got them yet. Jade says that Nikki Gilbert didn't have to do anything, but she felt obligated. Really? I mean, maybe she did. I'm happy that she used this mess to bring light on black girls going missing. Well, see, that was the thing that I was concerned about. I was like, here's the thing. Um, Kelly, I know if you ever hear this, which you probably won't. But I just want to go on record as saying, again, I said it last night, I'm going to say it again. Black Lives Matter, and we have lost some beautiful, beautiful sisters to violence, to stupidity. This ain't the time for you to go missing and not talk to somebody in the family because you're mad at them. Thanks, Sharon. This is not that time, Kelly Price. You got to think about stuff. Okay, you like your celebrity status, right? Celebrities end up getting kidnapped. Celebrities, end up in the gutter, found, leaving in a body bag. Could have been stopped with a traffic stop, drug your butt out, and took you in the woods somewhere. Who would know? Who would know? Because you mad and you don't want to talk to nobody. Girl, get your life together. Seriously. Mickey said the brat should not put her 2 cents in her situation. Brat didn't communicate with her sister about her situation. Look, Linda, listen, Linda's. I'm not gonna talk about Brat yet because I'm so confused. I'm so confused. It is a good point, isn't it, Ree? I mean, girl, what you got going on? When did you find out? When did you come out the closet, first of all? Jay said, Mickey, exactly. She got nerve calling Nikki a clout chaser. I mean, what is all this? What is all this? And then y'all know I be watching like Ricky Smiley morning show on YouTube, and they had the Brat's picture, when she was dressed in heels and stuff. She was dressed like a girl. I said, "Girl, what you got going on? You sure you want to do this?" Listen. I love the LGBTQ community. I'm just speaking personally. I can't see myself marrying the same sex. It's because I'm straight. It's because I'm straight. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It's going to happen. And if that's you, do you. I'm just saying for me personally, I don't understand. And I think what it is for me, you guys, is that it happened all of a sudden. But maybe she knew and she just didn't want to come out. But I mean, it was like overnight is what I'm saying. That's the only way I can put it. It was overnight. And then you popped up and now you got a reality show and all. I'm like, what? How you I don't even know how to word it. I sound retarded because I don't know how to word it. Jay said the brat should never been in that interview with Kelly. Everyone and their mom thought Brat was with Mariah. Well, I missed that little bit of that there, but I'm still stuck on Brat getting married. She's getting married. JJ said I wanted the Brat pay the woman who she injured in the past. I don't know. I forgot all about that. I'm not really sure. But now that we've seen the whole R. Kelly rundown, it is not foreign that a person would actually pay people off because R. Kelly looked like he paid a lot of people off before he actually got caught, you know, actually got caught, and now he's, been found guilty. Did anybody else see it? Did anybody else see R. Kelly just go off? I mean, he went off. Like, get off me. Let me go. He is big mad. I guess he thought he was going home. Did he think he was going home, y'all? R. Kelly thought he was going home. For real. That dude said, get off me. Take your hands off. No, we can't. We got a job to do. You got to go back to your cell, bro. R. Kelly thought he was going home today. I bet you money. Had to. Because that was a disturbance. Okay, you ruffle that judge's feather, R. Kelly. Jay said it pays good dividends to be a part of the Rainbow Coalition. I mean, I got me some good Judys. Listen, I don't judge. I need a couple of good Judys. When I want me a good suit, I'm not a suit wearing woman. But when I need, a suit for, something special or whatever, always gonna call my good Judys, honey. I'm about to move. I'm gonna need them to come get my house straight because I gotta decorate, and I need my booms with me. Okay, we going to pick. I'm gonna find me a pink couch. We gonna decorate. Esau said, Kelly Price. Kelly Price doesn't want it to happen to her. At the hospital, Jaguar Wright said that happened to DMX. That's why she wants to be careful. Okay, I get that. Jaguar is a little crazy. Jaguar, if you hear this, don't come for me. I'm just saying, yeah, I mean, you're a little wound up, okay, but still talented, but a little tight, a little wound up, you know, and rightfully so. Um, but yeah, and she said that's what happened to DMX. DMX is what happened to DMX. DMX is what happened to DMX. Listen, these people are grown and they know right from wrong. If you don't get yourself mixed up in this stuff, you need to keep a clear head, stay off drugs, get off drugs, and, do the right thing. R. Kelly acted a fool in court today. Yep, sure did. Is Jaguar Wright still missing? I don't know. Last time I saw her, she was going on everybody else's YouTube after she talked to Tasha K. And then all of a sudden she just disappeared in the thin air. So I'm not sure. I thought by now she would have created her own YouTube channel or something, because she was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really sure where Jaguar is, but I haven't seen any interviews or any conversation with her as a part in months, really. I mean, you bring up a good point because I've not seen her. JJ said, well, the brat never wore too many feminine clothes. Around the 90s, females wearing male clothes was the style. Oh, yeah, because I had my overalls and my pants on backwards and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? TLC style. We had, well, I was a kid, so I did wear my hair in ponytails and stuff. But, it's a style. It's a style. And that but some kids do it today. And I'm not mad at them for that. But, I also, my best friend was a tomboy. So she didn't really dress girly at all, ever. It's probably because she was the only girl in the family. I think her mom had like three or four boys, and then it was Candy. So she never really dressed feminine or whatever. But um, she was straight. It came to a shock. It came as a shock to some of us because she was never girly. They just, it's just a thing with some people, you know. And I mean, I have heard Brat, call men fine before and how good they look and blah, 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 blah. It just kind of throws you off. It's like, wait, where did this come from? What are you talking about? Because we didn't know. And when I say we, I mean the fans. We did not know. So what you doing, Brat? Like it just it took me out. I was like, oh my God, what happened? Who is this lady that she kissing up on? Risa, what happened to Kappa, the WNBA player? He disappeared too. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Wright used to be in the music industry. Yes. Jaguar Wright used to be a singer. She had that one hit. Never heard from her. She said she was, what do you call it, blackballed or something like that. She was blacklisted. Um, because she wouldn't cooperate or whatever. It was like a whole industry thing. And she let the cat out of the bag on the Tasha K show. And then she just started running her mouth all over the internet. And unless they have, like, honestly, for me, okay, if they had not played her, video from back in the day, I probably would still be going, "Who is this crazy woman?" Because I didn't know who she was. And then when I saw the video, I said, "Oh, okay, that she had that one song." So you know what I'm saying? But it was not like it was like those we used to call a one hit wonder. Wonder where they are now. They just have that one hit. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, she's talented. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she's crazy though. I don't care what you say. That girl, she needs a little medication. She's a little high strung. That's all I'm saying. Jade Matthews, there had been rumors for years about the Brat and Mariah Carey being an item. Child. I think Mariah Carey is a little hot for that. she, she loves her a good old man, okay? I believe they all had a fling with each other. Brat, Mariah, Missy. Mm-mm, I don't think so. My brain can't comprehend that. Ugh, no. There have been videos on YouTube talking about Jaguar Wright being missing. She might be. That's a good tip. I'm going to look into that and see what's up. I feel like Kelly Price being charged for all this mess she's created. I think, a false missing persons report, she's going to be interviewed by the police. Did I tell you guys that? She has to go in personally. The video didn't do it. The authority says in order for you to be removed from the missing persons list, you've got to come in and personally and show your face. So she's not done that yet. But I'm pretty sure that when she does, it'll be on the internet somewhere and we'll all get to see it. Reese that they probably paid Jack. I don't know. I'd be scared of that woman because she knows too much stuff and she's very loud about her findings of the music industry, if you know what I mean. JJ says, "Man, I'm looking for R. Kelly's verdict reaction. I can't find it." Child, woo-wee. Get off me. Let me go. Get off me. Man, y'all notice that. Y'all know y'all paid me for this. Boy, if you don't shut up, some of y'all paid me to do this. My God, he's a big perv. Nobody paid you to do this. You bribed those parents, is what happened. You got the girls and the parents that didn't have hardly anything, and you showed them your bank account and you threw them a little, money, and they didn't question you when you took their daughters to the quote unquote studio. That's the real deal. That's what happened for real. It's like, get your still let me go. Don't touch me. I'm sorry, it's funny to me. I was just like, he thought he was fixing to go home. R. Kelly thought he was finna pack and go home. How did he think? Did I mean in his mind, y'all? He was really like, uh, I'm finna okay. What I gotta do when I get home? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna check my bank account, see how much, because I'm fixing to go home. I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty. So I gotta check and see, how much money I got in the bank and see what I need to do. Like he's already got a plan. Pap, guilty of all charges. What? Get your hands off me. Let me go. Man, y'all know y'all paid me to do this. Y'all sitting up there. Y'all know I gave you money. Really, dude? Really? He thought he was going home though. Oh, yes indeed. She's on record for trashing those industries and she had conflicts with. Child, if I was Jaguar, I would just why can't people just be quiet? Why can't they just shut up? Just be quiet sometimes. Silence is golden. I promise you. It is, Sabrina. Don't touch me. Get your hands off. Your man. Y'all know I gave y'all my y'all know. Man, get your hands off me. That's the guard. He's gonna take you back to your cell. What is you talking about? Don't touch me. Let me go. If you don't get your tail back there in that cell, this foolishness. No, good and well, you didn't think you was going home. Child, when he rose yesterday morning, he had it all planned out. Oh my God. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I will never forget this day. Never. I'll never forget this day. This was oh, we are all wrong for laughing this hard. Girl, I can't help it. I cannot help it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He actually is trying to jerk away from the security guard. Let me go. Get your hands off me. And then he gonna turn around to him and say, man, y'all know I gave y'all money. Y'all know y'all ain't right. Let me go down. Y'all know I gave y'all money. Okay, you know what? You need to shut up. You need to be real quiet because you've not been, you know, they ain't gave you no sentencing yet. So you need to hirsch, as Madea would say. Hirsch your mouth. Okay? Be quiet sometimes, R. Kelly. JJ said, that's R. Kelly's fault. When he got off the first time, he should have learned. Instead, he kept up foolishness. He really did. If you didn't go down the list of I'm a cancer. I'm a canceree. I was born July the 9th, 1971. So I'm very silly. Okay. I just like to have fun. It's no harm, no harm. You know, I do feel for R. Kelly, but some people do some crazy stuff. Why would you do that? Why you've been in jail all this time, all this while you've been in jail, locked up in your cell? What made you think you were going home today? I mean, yeah, I know I'm right. I'm right about it. When he got up, child, he probably had packed up his little t-shirts and flip-flops, had gave away all of his little stuff, because you give it to I ain't gonna need this no more, man. So you go, y'all have y'all, be happy. I hope it'll bless you. Cause I ain't gonna need this no more. I'm getting ready to go home. Now he finds out that he ain't going home. He's guilty. Get your hands off me. Now you got to go back to your cell and ask for your little crackers and stuff back. What do they call it? Commissary. Got to ask for your stuff back. Somebody got to put some more money on your books because you ain't going nowhere. And your cellmate's probably looking at you like, I thought you was going home. I thought you said you was going home. Man, shut up, man. I love you too, Reed. So they're gonna hang me for this. Somebody is gonna cuss me out in the comment section tomorrow when I wake up on this video. I know it. Somebody is gonna straight cuss me out. I'm glad you find humor in this because it ain't funny. That's what they told me yesterday about Kelly Price. They said, and it ain't funny. I don't know why y'all laughing on this show. It's not funny. I'm like, it is funny. It is. People do stupid stuff. And when you do stupid stuff, you should be laughed at properly. Stop doing stupid stuff and we won't have nothing to laugh at. Catherine said the sad thing about everything um is the negative effects that this has had on the Houghton family. They don't think about it, but when you go to prison, everybody else that you're attached to goes to prison. When you do stupid stuff, you know what I'm saying? And this is and for in Kelly Price's situation, this is not just going to wash away overnight. It's not. You just is selfish, right? Kelly Price, you're selfish. and you need to change. You change your wicked ways. You were speaking in tongues on Sunday best. Get in that place again and let the Lord lead you back to your family. Because at the end of the day, when you get sick and you're down and you're depressed and you're sorrowful and you're on your sick bed, or in your case on your dying bed, would you not have liked to see your kids or your sister? What if it was really your last time on earth? Did you ever think about that? What if they didn't bring you back? Your kids, the last time they saw you alive, whenever that was, would truly be the last time. I mean, we laugh and joke about the stupid stuff that people do, but then you got to really acknowledge that some of this stuff is so juvenile and it should take a back seat to the reality that is our life. And that is we're human. We are not made to live forever. And so God put us here on earth to build relationships. All right. So when you build relationships with people you give birth with, that should be a long lasting relationship and it should supersede any foolishness. So, regardless of what you guys are into it about, you should really think about your actions. You want other people to pay respect to you, but you were completely disrespectful to your family. It's not a good look. And so, yes, Kelly Price, you every time you do something stupid, we gonna laugh at you because you don't know what you're doing at all. And tell Nikki Gilbert to go mind her business and stop speaking for you because it didn't help your situation. And Brat, worry about your fiance. Okay, mind your business. Everybody stay in their lane. And all right. Siobhan said it's funny that they're on Front Street with their choices. With your choices, you chose this life. You chose this life. JJ said laugh properly. Yes, you get a proper laughing act on my show because you do stupid stuff. Stupid is as stupid does. Who said that? Forrest Gump, smartest man on earth. Catherine said Jade Matthews, Clive Davis seemed like legitimate people. I don't know. I heard Clive Dave was something to be reckoned with, but I don't know. Whitney said that, but I don't know what that meant. I get he is a beast in the music industry, so oh child, I don't know. I just wish these people would stop acting stupid. Mickey said people need to stop playing games with their own lives. Life is too short. That's what I'm saying. How would you like for, oh my God, the last time I saw my mom was when? And now she's no more. My thing is this, and I said this in Information Man's podcast earlier today. Let's say Paris don't start. Don't start. Oh Lord. See what I'm saying? We're always gonna laugh on this show. We're always gonna laugh on this show. Cause y'all be cutting up. Y'all ain't no good. Oh my God. That's what I'm saying. A missing persons report is serious. That's the first thing that popped in my head, Paris Todd. Publicity stunt. And I hope she wouldn't use the virus or the bad relationships between her kids and her sister for an opportunity of fame. Because the truth, I mean, really, if Kelly Price wanted to be famous, what she should have been doing was getting in touch with old boy Kirk Franklin, the one that cussed his son out. Get in touch with him because that's your bruh, all right? And tell him to do for you what he did for Tamala Mann. Now, Tamala is saved and sanctified for real. She's a minister, so she deserves her place in gospel music. She is the duchess of all things gospel music. Okay, Tamala Mann and her husband are beasts to be reckoned with out in this Christian industry. So if it were me and I had these types of connections, oh for sure. I don't care how many times you cuss your son out. I need a record deal. Can you take a break from cussing your boy out to come over here and help a sister like you helped everybody else? See, I mean, I'm just saying, use what you got to get what you want. You wanted popularity. unless you don't want to sing gospel and you want to go back to R&B, which is fine, but this ain't it. This ain't the way to do it. It's not the way to do it. No, tell Kelly Price to apologize to Nikki Gilbert. She owes an apology to her family, especially her children. I don't know what kind of friendship Nikki Gilbert and Kelly Price have, but I believe in a person staying in their place. And even though Nikki and Kelly might be close friends, okay, that's their relationship. Nobody said that Nikki was close friends with the family. Now, Kelly Price's sister did say she was thankful to Nikki Gilbert on the air, and I think that was fair. But from this day going forward, Nikki says she overstepped. She's absolutely right. Stay in your place, honey. Mind your business. Kelly has a lot of apologizing to do, but unfortunately, I don't think it will happen. I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, TLC dealing with Clive. Yeah, but boy, he did Whitney Houston right. He did Whitney Houston right. And I mean they're all talented, people, but Clive Davis, he's one of those they call a beast. He's the goat in the industry, is what they say. Paris said Kelly never thanked God to be alive, not once. I find that strange. No, I don't think she did. In that interview, I didn't hear her say, thank God. Um, I heard what she did say was they had yeah, me too. I'm saying because she was saying Thanks for saying that, Paris. 'Cause uh, no, seriously. There I go again. Kelly Price said that she died. The doctors told her a couple of days later that she died. But I didn't hear her say, "Thank God they brought me back to life," or any of that. I didn't hear, a "Thank you, God, thank you, Lord, thank you, Jesus," unless she said it in the privacy of her own home, which is totally her right. But you've got everything else out here on Front Street, so why can't you thank God out here? You put the mess out here and you let the mess happen. That's the thing that pisses me off about it. The only thing that really pisses me off about it is that you didn't contact your family and you could have put a stop to this foolishness. But instead, you were annoyed. You were aggravated because people were calling you and texting you and knocking on your door and disturbing your neighbors. And you actually put that in the interview on TMZ as if that mattered. When the only thing that really mattered is, when are you going to contact your children and your sister? Because they have been frantic. And it's quite obvious that that woman loves you and that your kids love you. And I think it's really strange that you don't want a better relationship, that you should really get to know your son and your daughter and rebuild a relationship with your sister, one that you can be proud of and that you can talk to these people. And on top of that, could you stop hiding the husband? Because we all know that he's a husband now. He's your husband. And is he going to start getting along with the family? Are either of you going to get some act right in your life? That's really what's up. Really what's up is your attitude is still stank and you're so talented that you feel a little bit entitled. Okay. And that's just my opinion based on what I see, because you know how it is. Celebrities show us what they want us to see. Okay? So, you showed your butt on TMZ and we all saw it, and you can't take it back cuz you can't unsee something. And I mean, the whole time I'm looking at Kelly Price's sister on different interviews, trying to get some answers, telling everybody, if you know where she is, if you've seen her, contact the authorities. We want to know. And your black behind still have not went to the authorities. They said you have to show up in person. You said that you were better. You're fine now. So what's the hold up? I smell a rat, a dead rat. I'm telling you. This is all gonna blow up in that girl's face. I'm telling you. She was tripping on a TMZ, still thinking about that. She was tripping. And then didn't Brett say she had to do that interview? Why did you have to do the interview with TMZ unless there was money involved? You have to do it. That didn't sound right with me. That you have to do this. TMZ, like a gossip forum, makes no sense. Right. Saved and Sanctified Kelly Price went to TMZ instead of Ebony Magazine, instead of People, instead of US Daily, instead of, you know, the Inquirer, not the Inquirer, but what is this one? The Insider or BBC or some of the other, top journalists publications. This is what you but I'm not taking anything away from TMZ. If you want some quick news, TMZ will give it to you. So it is what it is. Mickey says that Kelly Price didn't say anything about sorry for lying. Nope. In my spirit, she is telling me that this was a lie. If you were on a breathing machine, you would have had it on if your lungs were damaged. Right. Because, like I said, the proof is in the pudding. Zaddy Chunk Chunk, which is Beloved's Life's son, he is a mukbanger, is a very lucrative channel, but he can't breathe. And then you have Kicking It with Sin City, who got over COVID. She can't breathe properly. And then you've got Dub, who he is a vlogger, family vlogger. Him and his son have a show here on YouTube. He went home with his oxygen. He can't breathe properly. And then the green screen. She had the back of her blurred out, the green screen, like we can't tell that that's the green screen. All right, Sharon, I love you too. Y'all clowning again. That's what I'm saying. Why did it take all of this when you literally could have just went on your Instagram and said a few words and I'd still throw in I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? But no. Kelly should have went to Larry Reed Live. He got ball rolling on finding her. Exactly. Exactly. It ain't hard to get in touch with Larry Reed Live. All of his contact information is on the internet. And so if he got in touch with your sister, that's exactly right. You should have went to Larry Reed Live. That's what you really should have done. But whatever, man. Well, guys, we've been on for 2 hours and 24 minutes. Shout out to the 34 who remain in the room. We're going to get out of here and get some shut eye. I have had a great time, as always, with my Victory Village. I'm so glad you came out, each and every one of you, to hang out with me. If you have not, give it a big thumbs up and show some love because it really helps me out. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button because we'll be doing this again very soon. JJ said Kelly is the ball confusion. She's a ball of confusion. She can't read those types of people. If you study them too long, you will get a headache. I don't plan on getting no headaches over these celebrities, honey. I don't know what kind of crap she's got going on, but listen, whatever she's doing in the dark is going to come to the light. So um if her husband really is holding her against her will or controlling her, it'll all come out. It'll all come out. Thank you, Paris. Yes. I love you in the audience. You have to come back. You're a lot of fun. I love it. Well, the family is growing, y'all. Thanks to all the new subscribers and all that good stuff. I'm going to get out of here, but I want to wish you guys a good night. Don't forget to be safe out there. Wear your mask, use your hand sanitizer, gloves at the pump. And that boy said, I want Big Kelly back. Y'all do me a favor and always live on purpose. All right. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something because through Jesus Christ, you can do everything. I love you guys so much. I'll be talking to y'all tomorrow. And in the meantime,